singer and actress. If she's not actively reading a book, she's probably singing or humming a song. She's not my most vocal advisee, but she always speaks up when she wants her opinion heard. I've been really proud of her growth since she came to Collegiate last year, and I know that she's going to continue to do great things, even if she does procrastinate on them. I hope you all enjoyed her speech. Without further ado, Willa Dwenger.
Every life is many days, day after day. We walk through ourselves, meeting robbers, ghosts, giants, old men, young men, wives, widows, others in love, but always meeting ourselves. James Joyce, Ulysses. Life is a journey. Throughout my 14 years, I've met many robbers, ghosts, giants, and the like, metaphorically speaking, of course. And at the end of every experience I've had, I always realize the same thing. In life, you meet people, experience things, change, but you always find yourself in everything you do. In the past years, I've learned to start over, to make new friends, to try new things, to meet new people, to accept change, to adapt. And I've been challenged to somehow find me in all of it. I think one of my biggest challenges that helped me understand a little bit more about myself was archery. In the beginning, I was super skeptical of archery. I'd only done archery a couple of times before joining the team this year. And I only joined because my parents wanted me to play a sport and my friend recommended it. Let's just say it didn't start well. At my very first meet, I knocked over my quiver in the middle of a round. My soul temporarily left my body as they paused the round and the people around me stared. But I finished the meet with a solid score, and now I can laugh about it with my friends. But after that meet, I decided I was actually going to get better at archery. And I did. It took weeks of practice and help from my coach and friends, but I got a lot better. And it showed. At one meet, I more than doubled my score from the last one. I was really, really proud. Was my score perfect? No, but it was a lot better than what it had been. So, sadly, in the end, I didn't end up becoming the second coming of Katniss Everdeen, but I did improve, make friends, and I was, and am, really proud of myself. Science wasn't a very important subject to me for a long time. I didn't dislike it, but it wasn't one of the classes I really looked forward to. That changed when I came to collegiate, but especially this year. I am so lucky to have Mrs. Khan as my science teacher. She makes our classes fun and engaging, but also challenging, which I love. I'm pretty good at test taking, and I've never actually had to study much, so the bare minimum was always enough to get by with a good grade. Science challenged that perfect no-study system that I built in. This past year, I've had to study for every science quiz and test that I've taken, and I love it. I've grown to love science, and I believe it's made me a better student in so many ways. Mr. Haas once said something like, Willa Dwenger will be one of our great leaders someday, and history is up. I'll leave it up to you to decide which statement is more likely to be true. Personally, I don't think history is fun. In fact, history is my favorite class. A lot of people find history boring, but I say history is fascinating and awesome because it's one big story, and I love stories. Last year, I took global studies with Miss Nearly, and I thought it was one of the best classes I'd ever taken. I was so excited to learn more about global studies in the third year, until Mr. Haas ruined it. Instead of learning about the whole world, we were going to learn American history, something I had studied before, so I wasn't excited to cover it again. Fortunately, Mr. Haas may be an old man, but he is a really good teacher. I really like U.S. history. We analyzed the Constitution, covered important law cases, and learned about historical events. All in all, history is, and always will be, one of my favorite subjects. So thanks, Mr. Haas, and I forgive you for making us do all those crossword puzzles. Last year, I got to volunteer at a festival in my neighborhood. My neighbors asked me and my sister if we would want to help out with setting up and working at some of the booths. I helped out a mini pumpkin painting stand. I got to sell pumpkins and make people paint for kids. I loved being able to help people, and it made me so happy. I met a ton of people from the neighborhood, and as I looked around at people running, painting, shopping, I realized I was a part of a community. Being a part of a community is something that is really important to me. I had such a good time volunteering at the festival that when my neighbors told me about an alley cleanup, I was super eager to help out. It was hard work, The sun was beating down on us. We shoveled dirt and picked up trash. At the end, I was sweaty and tired, but I felt like I had done something beneficial for my community. And the free t-shirt didn't hurt. I really enjoyed engaging in my community and feeling like I had contributed something greater than myself. One of the best experiences of my life was going to Interlochen Arts Camp. That's a beautiful campus in northern Michigan. It was surrounded by a lake and gorgeous trees. It was in the 70s every day, which in mid-July is heaven on earth. I made so many amazing friends there who all love art as much as I do. I got to sing and dance and meet new people. One of my favorite memories was meeting Rob Burkeek, writer of the Broadway musical The Lightning Thief. We got to do a Q&A with him and learned so much about the behind the scenes of Broadway and how a professional theater career works. It really helped me grow as an artist and a person. Interlochen will always have a special place in my heart. So I've been reading since before I can remember. The first book I read was about Spider-Man. After that, I was hooked. I devoured book after book after book. I was, and still am, obsessed with reading. You will rarely find me without a book. And I'm convinced there's one specific person I owe this most important to thing in my life. Mrs. Fleetwood. She fueled my love for reading, and I believe she made me into the person I am today. She is, and will always be the best librarian I've had. She showed me the power of reading. She taught me books take you on a journey. You get to meet people, go to amazing places, and learn so much without leaving the comfort of your room. I think reading can help anyone understand themselves and the world around them. It promotes empathy towards others, the power of knowledge, and utilizing the greatest thing ever, imagination. So I like participating in theater for a lot of reasons. One of the biggest reasons I love theater so much is because it's like a family. I know that's a cliche, but it's true for me. I love bonding with the cast and spending time with people I never would have if I wasn't in theater. And my favorite part is the actual theater part. I love singing. Like, it's annoying how much I sing. I think my family can attest to that. But music is just so fun, and I can't imagine my life without it. I also really love acting. Pretending to be someone else is just like so interesting to me. I get to understand characters on a deeper level, and there's dancing. I'm definitely not the strongest dancer, but over the years I really have improved. We all worked really hard on the choreography for Newsies, and I think it turned out really well. One of my proudest accomplishments in theater was being lead in 2 shows. I was starring John Lennon in Me and Jack Kelly in Newsies. I remember walking out of both auditions and thinking, I nailed that, I'm getting this part. Both of those roles forced me to put my all into the shows and make sure that they were both amazing. They were such cool experiences, and I am so grateful for them. And I decided to make new friends and improve when I continued theater in high school. Every day is many days. Every life is many days, day after day. We walk through ourselves, we meet robbers, ghosts, giants, old men, young men, wives, widows, brothers in love, but always meaning ourselves. James Joyce is right. I have met so many people, gone on so many journeys, learned and loved and lost. Through it all, I have found myself. I will continue to learn, to grow, to change, to meet new people, to do new things. But in the end, I know I will always find me, Willa Dwenger, the same girl I've always been. And to close, here are my dedications. Lena, don't feel good about you being the only one in our family on those slides. It's only because I forgot to send myself a picture, okay? So, I'd like to thank everyone who helped me with this speech. Special thanks to my mom. You are literally my hero. I look up to you so much, and you're the most amazing people I know. Thank you so much for shopping with me, listening to podcasts with me. Sorry what happens every time I go to West Virginia. I apologize. And most of all, thank you for always being there for me. You are the best. Dad, I love you so, so, so much. Thank you for helping me with math, watching Marvel movies with me, even though I talk a lot during them, and for just letting me hang out with you, for being the most amazing dad I could ask for. Lena and Clark, you're both little tornadoes of annoyingness, but I love you both, and I know you'll do amazing things. I am so lucky to have you as my baby sister and baby brother. And I hope you know how much I will never say this again, so listen closely. Love you. To Ms. Garcia Gasco for being the most amazing Spanish teacher. I love your class, and thank you so much for teaching me and being such a kind and wonderful person. For Ms. Bradley, thank you so much for being an amazing advisor, helping me with this speech, even though I procrastinated a lot on it. You were still there for me the entire time. And finally, to all of my friends, I hope you guys know how much I love all of you. Thank you.